In 2011, a film arrived that felt less like a sequel and more like a cinematic exorcism. Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance is a movie perpetually vibrating at a frequency of pure, unadulterated chaos, a collision of studio mandate, directorial ID, and one actor's complete surrender to a singular, flaming scold obsession. To understand this film is to understand a perfect storm of conflicting forces. It exists in the shadow of the 2007 original, a critically panned but financially successful product, yet it was greenlit just as the Marvel Cinematic Universe was redefining the superhero playbook. Columbia Pictures, seeking a darker, cheaper reboot, handed the keys not to a safe pair of hands, but to Mark Neveldine and Brian Taylor, the anarchic duo behind the hyperkinetic Crank films. This was a fundamental miscalculation that birthed something unique. Neveldine Taylor's filmmaking is visceral, handheld, and aggressively stylized, built on a philosophy of run-and-gun chaos. They famously shot scenes while on rollerblades. This methodology, applied to a $57 million studio property about a demonic bounty hunter, created an irreconcilable tension. The film is a corporate product straining against the leash of its own director's instincts. At the center of this maelstrom is Nicolas Cage as Johnny Blaze. If the first film presented cage wrestling with the role, here he is fully possessed by it. His performance is a masterclass in Cagean extremity. A man physically and spiritually warped by his curse. Watch his introduction hiding in a remote monastery, his movements twitchy and feral, his voice a gravelly whisper. This isn't a hero, it's a wounded animal, an addict forever chasing the high and horror of the transformation. The Ghost Rider itself is reimagined through this grimy practical effects lens. Gone is the sleek CGI motorcycle of the first film. Here, the rider is a creature of ash, ember, and tangible weight. His chain is a physical prop, his skull a practical mask, layered with digital fire. This aesthetic choice grounds the supernatural in something tactile and dirty, aligning with the film's overarching theme: power as corruption, as a physical decay. The plot is skeletal. The rider is recruited by a monastic order to rescue a boy, Danny, from the clutches of the devilish Rourke, who plans to transfer his essence into the child's body. It's a MacGuffin chase across a desolate Eastern European landscape, a setting that contributes immensely to the atmosphere. This isn't the shiny America of most superhero films. It's a post-Soviet wasteland of crumbling factories and stark mountains, a visual metaphor for Blaze's internal hellscape. This atmosphere is the film's greatest strength. Cinematographer Brandon Trost, collaborating closely with the directors, employs a bleached high-contrast palette. Sunlight is harsh and overexposed. Shadows are deep and consuming. The color is often drained, leaving behind tones of concrete gray, dust yellow, and the stark, hellish orange of the rider's flame. The world feels sick, drained of life, mirroring the rider's parasitic relationship with Blaze. Thematically, Spirit of Vengeance is far more interesting than its predecessor or its reputation suggests. It grapples intensely with the idea of a cursed gift. The rider isn't a suit of armor Blaze puts on, it's a parasitic entity that consumes him. The transformation is portrayed as violent, painful, and degrading. The film asks, what is the true cost of power when that power is fundamentally demonic? Is it a tool for justice, or merely a different kind of damnation? This is explored through the film's central bargain. Moreau, a member of the monastic order, played with weary gravitas by Idris Elba, offers Blaze a chance at freedom, save the boy, and the order will exercise the spirit of vengeance. The entire narrative hinges on Blaze's desire not for heroism, but for oblivion, for the silence after the scream. His heroism is born from profound selfishness, a desire to be rid of the thing that makes him special. The antagonist, Rourke, played by Karen Hines, serves as a dark mirror. He is another being obsessed with transcending his form, with acquiring power through a vessel. His goal isn't world domination in a generic sense, but a very specific bodily corruption. The final conflict, therefore, isn't just good versus evil, but a battle between two different models of possession. One forced, one sought, both monstrous. Where the film stumbles, often spectacularly, is in the marriage of this grim thematic core with Neveldine Taylor's frenetic action language. The directors can't resist injecting their signature absurdity. A moment where the writer urates a stream of fire, a truck chase edited with video game logic. These moments create a jarring tonal whiplash, undermining the atmospheric dread they so carefully built. It's as if two different movies are fighting for dominance within the same frame. The supporting cast exists in this dissonance. Violente Placido's Nadia is given little to do but react, while Christopher Lambert's Methodius is a cryptic figure lost in the edit. Their presence highlights the script's weaknesses, its prioritization of mood and moment over coherent character arcs. They are pieces on the board, moved to facilitate Blaze's journey and the next set piece. Yet, it is precisely this flawed, frantic energy that makes Spirit of Vengeance a compelling artifact. It is a film without compromise, even if that lack of compromise leads to incoherence. It represents a road not taken for superhero cinema. One steeped in body horror, religious dread, and gritty practical grime, released just as the genre was solidifying into a more polished, interconnected universe. Its conclusion is telling. Blaze does not get a clean victory. He saves Danny, but the exorcism fails. The rider remains, a part of him. His reward is not freedom, but a semblance of control, a tenuous pact. He rides off not into a sunset, but into the same bleak landscape, his curse now a reluctant tool. It's an oddly poignant, unresolved ending for a superhero film, a promise of endless struggle, not a clean close. Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance, fails as a conventional blockbuster. Its narrative is messy, its tone inconsistent, its execution often baffling. But as a piece of auteurist expression violently grafted onto a studio template, it is unforgettable. It is the sound of a creative team screaming into a studio microphone, and Nicolas Cage's skull ablaze, screaming loudest of all. It stands as a monument to a very specific kind of cinematic accident, where market forces, directorial madness, and a committed star created something too strange to succeed, yet too uniquely fervent to be completely dismissed. In an era of meticulously engineered superhero spectacles, there is something perversely valuable in this flawed, fiery, and fiercely singular vision of hell on wheels. Thank you for watching until the end. We pour our passion into every single video essay, exploring the stories behind the movies we all love. If you stumbled upon this video by chance, there is a very high probability you might never see our channel again in your feed. So please take a moment to hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and ring the bell. We are actively growing this community of cinema lovers, and your support is what helps us make our content better and more insightful every single day. Let's explore the magic of filmmaking together. See you in the next one.